right behind them at 3-1, having already played their 4th match. So if we see Renegades taking this, that could definitely kind of toss things for a spin, I guess, in a way, as Envision Esports would then fall to 3-1 themselves in the matches. But we'll have to see how it plays out. The Renegades we saw earlier is not the Renegades we've seen, you know, for the last couple of days. So hopefully for them, that match that they got to sit out of just previously that we just saw might have given them enough time to work out the kinks, figure everything out. They obviously have Hidam back in the mix here. Didn't quite save things for them on Anubis, but we'll just see if it saves things for them going forward, as Bud's already with the first opening kill, and then we'll res it back up though.
And we'll see if he can capitalize off of it, looking to charge up that pulse bomb at 60% already. Now on the point, brawling it out, both teams looking for any other picks. You face guy dropping low, but it's gonna be Ube getting a kill onto iShiny. So can they capitalize with it, as we'll see Jaru dropping pretty low. However, so far, nobody else falling for now. It will be Newface guy getting killed, but in return, the rest of the defensive side will be able to come back from spawn, regroup, and potentially look good here, as Crimso, in the end, does get found out, but McGravy gets a double kill off of the self-destruct, and with that, they should be able to win this one out pretty heavy-handedly, as no ticks were acquired by Renegades.
They really put a lot of stock into keeping Newface guy alive in that one. Ube was without his mercy for quite a long time in that fight, but he stayed very safe, so he didn't need it. So that allowed Hidon to actually focus most of his healing on a Newface guy. Got Hidon up pretty high on the Valk charge, but ultimately they still wind up losing the fight. Big plays coming out of McGravy, and now it's the pulse bomb from Buds. Doesn't find anything initially, and look at this aggression coming out from Renegades.
But it's a 1-for-1 so far, as McGravy finds that these two sound barrier was used by the defensive side as well as the Valk, but overall, still not quite able to find the kills they need, as Jar is going to pull out the blade. Gets one onto Guru. Can't get anything else. Looks for the skies. Doesn't get anything done. But again, Louis now will be coming in with the pulse bomb. As a result, just splitting their attention. And maybe they can turn this around, as Ube still healthy on that Pharah in the skies. Will be uncontested for now. Transcendence was forced out. Crimso keeping his members safe, but pushed out at the point means that they will manage to find that first tick on it. 51.5%, as the kills are still in favor of Renegades. They might have just finally captured it in the end.
And Buds allowing Shiny to go in and contest it so that he can come back in with the blinks. He will go ahead and fall as well. Crimso, after that initial Transcendence being popped, just wasn't able to get back into a safe position, as it pulled him all the way back out to that back kind of step area, and he fell because of it. Now we're seeing some swaps. Buds off of Tracer onto Widowmaker, as Jaro takes his place on the Tracer, it seems, and high ground control certainly in favor of Renegades for now, but we will see the first kill with Jaru, who again just swapped. And this is this opportunity we saw before, how Jaru on the Tracer can just be so insane. And as he makes a swap, he's already finding an impact.
Crimso gets a late kill onto Louis. Shouldn't matter too much. However, Guru losing his suit, gonna be a bit worse. However, he will eventually fall. So late staggered kill is gonna mean too much though, as we'll see the rest of Envision look to set up on high ground. Bud's now looking for this line of sights. We'll only spot out Newface guy for now, but we'll be getting also close to that infra site. So on the other hand, Jaru could once again prove to be just an absolute menace with the pulse, but it will be Ube getting one kill off of the rocket barrage. Can he find more?
They're sending the self-destruct forward to take Buds off of the high ground, and they're actually going for Crimso. Crimso might be able to find the kill, but it's Buds supporting, able to find it. They'd make the trade at the very least, and now the Valk comes out, but Buds takes him out of the sky.
Seems like it's not gonna quite just matter, because nobody else is left to contest on the payload. But still looking for any angles, any kills potentially. Now there's a lot of pressure himself. Be forced to regroup. Louis even going in, trying to commit with a pulse bomb. Not gonna find the target. Jar will come back with the help of his Zenyatta. Will take down that Tracer.
Had him discorded, so with that melee, found that last little bit of damage that they were looking for, and now Crimso, with a lot of space, can go ahead, surge forward. This time, putting the pressure on Newface guy as they pull back, and seems like they're just gonna go ahead and re-engage once they have everybody back up, and now they do, so here it comes. Mac holding onto the sound barrier right now. They'll have the reset for Newface guy as Primal Rage comes up pretty soon as well, but with Ube now on the Genji to try to shut down Buds. They're waiting for that blade, but they can still get aggressive here. They have to really play this high ground, and Buds falling very low to start off.
He is going to, however, manage to recover with the help of his team. Whereas on the other hand, it will be Hidan going down first. iShiny causing an absolute ruckus there with the Primal Rage as well. McGravy finding another kill onto Mac. No supports online for Renegades means that they will be pushed back, as iShiny even claims another kill, this time onto Ube. And once more throughout the second phase, Renegades unable to find any success for now.
Once again on high ground, they've been quite aggressive in trying to deal with him, but he still found just so many shots as they try to get up there. New Face guy took a shot to the face there. And now we're seeing them go for another play, and now putting pressure onto Shiny, but just a matter of time before they jump back up top. Guru's kind of helping out, fight against Shiny. He's discorded up, so he's forced back to the rest of his team. But in the meantime, Crimzo still with a lot of space. It's now up to Louis, but he falls.
As Buds did manage to find that kill onto Mac, which was very important considering the fact that he had Soundbar at the ready. Now Ube looks to answer with a kill of his own onto Jaru, but overall, things are still looking stellar for Envision, as they will have the Sound Barrier, Transcendence at the ready. Just doesn't seem like it's going to be enough here for defensive side to potentially take it, but it might just be off of Ube's blade, which is good to go. And it will be the the Sound Barrier used. And Transcendence on the offensive side, self-destruct as well. Doesn't find the kills. Guru actually going down in that time window of opportunity for the opposing side, and now Jaru coming in with a double kill. It's gonna be the blade pulled out by Ube, gets one in return, but it seems like that's all he gets, as he's gonna be dropping low, gets killed off in the end. And overall, as overtime still ticks away, it should be Envision with a good hold.
Crimzo stays alive against the pressure from Louis on the Tracer. A lot of support coming out. Shiny has made so much space for them. He's definitely stepped up since their first engage on the first point on Hollywood here.
Switching sides.
They're really playing a lot better on that second point. Now, they really don't have to go all too far with the payload if they can get it unlocked on point A to be able to solidify things here on Hollywood and take that 1-0 lead, get the advantage rolling forward. Again, last night's Leftovers has completed their matches in Group B. They're sitting at 3-1-0. Having lost already to Envision. And if Envision wins this, they will be obviously taking that and going first here and moving on into the playoffs with a pretty good seed. And I think that's very important to them right now, especially given the fact that, you know, what we've seen from Group A and Group B is more or less the same, where you have your really stellar front runners. Obviously, Group A being Fusion University. We saw some good stuff from Kongarna and Fractal Esports. Same kind of thing is the case over in Group B, where Envision has been pretty stellar, but had a couple of moments, certainly not like what we've seen from Fusion University. Last night's Leftovers also looking very good, but interestingly enough, No Clout is also a team to look out for, because they actually made an adjustment, and I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe they are putting in Dogman going forward to be paired up with Little Menace. And I mean, Dogman previously of Kongarna, really good flex support player to bring in. Will certainly add a lot to that roster. So No Clout is certainly a team to look out for, and I think the first seed will be playing them. So perhaps we will see Envision going up against them, but they have to win this match here to secure that without a doubt.
And we'll see whether or not they can do it here, as so far, interestingly enough, it will be Ube on the Soldier looking to counter this dive composition coming out of Envision. However, Buds will be on the Tracer this time around, as Jaru goes back to the Genji. We'll be looking to potentially contest them on that high ground. So far, not really committing anything. Both of them just poking, but it will be in the end. Crimson somehow finding the kill onto Mac, and that will signal the rest of his team to surge forward, get a second kill. Both supports out of the picture for the defensive side, and Renegades crumbling right now, as it's all about Envision on this first point.
Ooh, Louis trying to get something done, but Crimzo having none of it as Louis is forced back. And although iShiny goes down, he'll be coming back soon enough. And it's Envision Esports with a very quick first take going forward, having lots of time to play with. But remember, Renegades had a similar kind of time bank to try to cap it, and they fell flat. A great defense from Envision, and I think we'll probably see something similar here from Renegades, but it'll be tough. I mean, over 5 minutes to hold out against Envision, who is really clicking right now. That's a lot to ask for.
Especially since those supports were the first ones to go down. Look at the ultimate disadvantage they're at compared to the offensive side of Envision. And as Buds claims the kill onto Louis, makes it a 6v5. Guru will be losing his pulse bomb out of Buds, claims both supports again, who are just unallowed to play at this point. And with those final few kills, only pulse bomb committed. I just can't see Renegades regrouping and finding anything here on this payload, as it's gonna be really close now with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining.
iShiny got away with 5 HP there as well, so they don't even have to wait on him to come back from spawn. They can take this fight quickly and aggressively. Jaru holding onto a blade. He's going to pull it out right away, already looking for that Lucio. He disengages and gets away, and they don't have a direct answer for Ube on the tac visor, but it will be Shiny coming forward. He has the Discord on him, just trying to create some space long enough to try to find some kills onto Louis and Mac. They both go down quickly to McGravy, and that's that. Nobody on the point. They sneak it out. Envision Esports takes it.
And Renegades once again not looking quite as strong as they did previously. Today seemingly not being their day, but overall really well played by Envision. Good plays on their end, and we will be moving on shortly to the second map for Assault. Don't go anywhere.
We are back at the analysis desk once again. Renegades not looking that great at all. I mean, it does feel that Envision Esports were in full control of this match, and Jaru and Buds were on point, and there was nothing much Renegades could have done.
Unfortunately for Renegades, while we did expect them to potentially fall to Envision Esports, it wasn't quite to this level, just seemingly unable to find that team coordination and really make things work. Of course, iShiny going down early was only the real problem for Envision in the first place.
Yeah, and I mean, coming into today's matches, I'd say Envision Esports and Renegades were the top two teams in my mind that would fight for the #1 spots, but Envision Esports are making it look somewhat one-sided.
Well, again, this is going to be Anubis, Salt map, so this is where they looked at their weakest. And if Renegades can't contest right now and get at the very least a draw, then that's going to be just definitely showing why tonight they're just not performing.
Yeah, I mean, they have to seize the opportunity now, as we've seen in Vision Esports. If they lacked anywhere, it's assault maps, Horizon, Anubis, Hanamura. I think they lacked basically on all of them. So they definitely need to seize the opportunity now. It coming into Temple of Anubis, it does seem that Renegades are going to start on defense. Do you think this is something they need in order to maybe come back into this series?
It's a tough call because overall, again, while I'd say they're better with their defensive play, overall they just didn't look like themselves tonight. And as a result, I'm not quite sure what they need because, as said, the team coordination not quite being there, no matter it be defense or offense, it's going to bite you no matter what.
So basically, you can't really name one player that's underperforming. It's the whole team.
I would say so. Definitely the coordination, that is the biggest issue right now.
The match is ready. Yurix, take it away.
All right, starting things off here. This is the opportunity that Envision has now.
I always liked working with
And I mean, if they take this map, not only will it be a pretty great feat for them because they're going to be winning out on an assault map that historically they've had some struggles with, and I imagine that has been something that they target now in practice, as that has kind of been something that they probably should look at. It's certainly a hole in their map pool. It's just all of these different assault maps. But as we start things off, Renegade's going to be holding out on tanks. A quad tank start from them as Envision looking to dive.
It's going to come down to whether or not Envision can find the likes of the support players from Renegades, or of Renegades rather, really start things off here, already pushing them into the low room for now. However, no ticks could be really obtainable for now as a result, as they can't drop down just yet. We'll see Jaru look to potentially go through with a Swift Strike. We've seen how fast Genjis can really charge that ultimate up when you have to deal with all those tanks, but now new face guy going on to the point will be contested by Buds alongside iShiny. However, so far, nobody really falling for now. Looking to build those ultimates, and once more, as said, if they can get the Blade, Pulse Bomb, or anything to start things off here, Envision might just get things done. But it will be, in the end, Louis finding the kill onto iShiny.
Just not able to keep their tank alive, and in that instance, they will have to pull away. McGravy going to lose his mecha as well, and Jaru will fall, but he's going to be pulling away from this fight with the Blade. The thing here is, though, Renegades, who were just confined into that tiny little space, really should have been contained by Envision long enough for Jaru to get that Blade up, but it took them quite a long time. You look at the clock, and there's already a minute and a half gone, and they've only taken one fight.
We'll see whether or not off of said Blade they can make things work, whereas on the defensive side, look at that. Ube already good to go with the Graviton. Will look to avoid the Diva. McGravy for now to potentially get an angle with it. But Louis already finding a kill onto Jar will be big. Graviton doesn't find the targets, but it seems like it doesn't quite matter for now. And as a result, having the Pulse Bomb eaten now, coming out of Buds, I believe, will be the self-destruct use. Doesn't get any targets off of it. iShiny looking to displace the opposition off of the Primal Rage. But the whole hog will come out. Louis looking to push them away. No ticks achieved just yet. And overall now coming in with Ear Shattered. Finds Jar as well as those supports. And it will be Renegades looking much better as Ube close to his second Graviton already.
They still can kind of contain them a little bit in there, but Louis got that opening pick very early on. Buds really just hasn't found anything so far on the Tracer. So he's going to swap to a Junkrat now. I think this will fare better for them. And Jaro just hasn't had any opportunity to pull the blade out because he died first in the last fight. Louis picked him off. And that's been something good for Renegades, is that despite, you know, lacking in some ways in their team play, Louis has still been able to find a lot of these first kills in some of these team fights to give them an edge, to allow them to have some kind of opening in the fights to stay in it.
60 seconds.
And with 60 seconds left on the clock, considering the ultimates they have available here, it's going to be very difficult for Envision to find the space they need. Now Jaro opening up with the blade. Will be the sound barrier on both sides. And Louis again finds the first pick onto Buds this time. As the Junkrat out of the question will make things easier for them. Get another kill onto Ice Shiny, looking for more with the help of the Coalescence. Graviton not even used. Now with 34 seconds left, Envision have pretty much one more push in them.
30 seconds remaining.
Bud's still looking to try to generate that Riptire, and honestly, I mean, with how these DPS have been shut down so far, Envision really struggling against Louis in particular, it seems. We'll have to see if maybe they can get it done here. We've seen them struggle on point A before. We've seen them cap it with barely any time or no time left, and then still be able to cap out point B off of momentum. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it here, but they're going to have to rely on this Riptire now to get it done.
Oh, but the Graviton is going to catch most of those members, and as a result, the Riptire still comes through. New Face Guy, though, gets 2 kills. It's a pretty much all-out fight here, as the rest of the team, in terms of the defensive side of Renegades, will be able to regroup, gets to take down Jaru. McGravy, only member left on the point from Envision, will be pushed away. Overtime ticking through, and look at this, even though the Promo Rage gets in there, no, not quite in time. And Renegades, this is what we expected out of them. Definitely having a really good defensive hold on Anubis.
Switching sides.
And I know this is kind of unpopular to talk about, especially, you know, coming from a commentator, but while we did see some improvements from Renegades play, and especially, you know, again, Louis really, you know, performing quite well. Guru was doing well to keep New Face Guy alive. Something that we've seen before is New Face Guy taking a lot of pressure and then, you know, not being able to do much anymore. And Ube and Guru have made sure that he's able to stay up so that he can apply that pressure and keep them, you know, safe as they're contained and as they're confined to that, you know, small kind of space in that room. I do feel like a lot of this just comes down to the fact that Envision just isn't that good on this type of map. And we see some of those mistakes, you know, on that first fight. They really should have been able to be a little bit more aggressive, you know, from their DPS. Shiny gave them over a minute to try to, you know, deliver on an ultimate to create some momentum so that they could actually get in there with an opening and actually take that tank lineup down and then go ahead and move forward, because that is something that they should be able to accomplish. Jaro, you know, wasn't able to get it done, unfortunately, because he was just completely shielded off. But Buds on the Tracer, I think, should have gotten off a little bit more than he wound up getting. And again, you know, it requires everybody to do their job and everything needs to be coordinated well. And it's just something that on this type of map, Envision really just struggles with. I mean, they've had a lot of problems with, you know, coordinating some of those things, which on a payload map, they always get done. So it's really weird to see how it's so different on Assault.
And while on paper, yes, this composition coming out of them with Fire on the Ana, Jaru on the Junkrat, could potentially have a good time against this quad tank lineup, considering the fact they only need 1 tick here for Renegades. I just can't see how they can really hold it off here, Envision that is, and it will come down to some really good plays out of the likes of those DPSs. Will be those spots out that trap. Will be able to take it out. Louis looking for a hook, but already on the point. We'll see New Face Guy swinging away. Gets hit by the Bionade, but saved by the projective barrier, so good timing on that one. But look at that already. Not even on the point. Envision. Probably their weakest performance yet on the Assault.
I mean, for Envision and for any fan of this tournament, that is a massive disappointment, because to just, you know, completely go off the point like that, I mean, this is probably one of the only instances where you can actually say C9, because that's exactly what just happened. You know, they just walk off the point when they really shouldn't have. But don't go anywhere, guys. Despite that disappointment, we will still have a map number 3. Renegades is still in it. Don't go anywhere. We'll have it right up to these commercials.
probably the worst performance by Envision we've seen so far. I mean, we knew they were not good on assault maps, but this not good?
Yeah, just disappointing to see. However, still well played for the side of Renegades to have the likes of Louis really be a stand-up player on the Roadhog, getting those early picks in every team fight, or what seemed like most of the team fights. But still, I gotta just say, this time around, while Renegade previously lacked coordination, seems like Envision just kind of gave up, I guess,
Yeah,
when
I
it came to their
mean,
defense.
this was like very disturbing to watch, to say the least. But now we'll go into the third map and we will see if Envision Esports can close this one out. Now, do you think we are going to see an Envision victory here?
They did look stronger on control when compared to something like the side of Assault, of course, but it's going to be close because even when they went on Nepal, it came down to the wire, to that third round. So it's a hard one to call, I'd say.
Let's see what happens. Curix, take it away.
Starting off, again, a dive for Envision as they'll go against the quad tank of Renegades. We'll have to see how this fares. We saw a sneak peek of that on the assault map just prior to this, and it definitely went in favor of Renegades, but as it is going to be a different map style, maybe that's all Envision needs.
And already on the point, seems like control might be in favor of Renegades. They will look to charge up Ube once more. Crimzo will be safe for now. I did think he was dropping quite low for a while, but now, as the point did unlock, we will see the rest of this dive look for any kills, but it is going to be Ube instead, getting the kill onto iShiny. And just like that, the pulse bomb is already going to be charged up, finds one onto Mac, but with the coalescence coming out, will be Louis getting the D-suit, and it's still an all-out brawl, but it seems like overall, in the end, it will be Renegades winning that one and getting that first cap.
Getting that early kill from Buds was exactly what they were looking for on Anubis. They get it there, but they just weren't able to get more off of it. We saw Jaro getting the blade a little bit later, but now he's going to swap over to the Reaper. And this is a more direct approach to dealing with Renegade's lineup and dealing with this composition filled with tanks, filled with large hitboxes for Jaru to try to take advantage of.
But look at that. We'll see Ube already get to go with the Graviton, so quick charge on that will catch most of them. And now it's Transcendence being used out of Crimson. It's a little too late, but seems like he will still manage to stabilize. We're going to see, but the Earth Shatter is going to come through. And with that, it will secure the team fight once more for Renegades, as they will have 50% built up on the point soon enough.
We really just have seen Envision do well on payload and then struggle on every other map type. Initially, the impression was that Envision was only, I mean, they were good on control, but they struggled on assault. And, you know, now we'll have to see if they can turn things back around as, you know, against, pretty much just against this 4-tank kind of style. That's where they've really had problems, especially dealing with Louis on this Roadhog, who has been insane with these hooks, really consistent.
And now Sound Bear will be used by the offensive side, but Coalescence, like the self-destruct, coming on both ends. Can he find the kill? So far, it will be Mac going down again. And with Louis falling in the end, as Buds claims that kill with a Roadhog of his own, it should be overall still favoring the red-hand side. But now the Earth Shatter doesn't quite connect. New Face guy getting a kill onto Jaru. Could potentially still swing things away in their favor, as Ube getting another Graviton potentially here, having it at the ready, doesn't quite commit to it. New Face guy under a lot of pressure, but look at that, 98% built up. If they will use it, they don't even get to the point.
Second time in a row, Envision fails to actually get on the point. A miscommunication. And this is where things get very, very bad for Envision because, you know, it's already tied up 1-1. They're down now a map. Or rather a round on the map on Nepal here, and as things go to Sanctum, you have to wonder what their approach is going to be. But after doubling up on not being able to get on the point, just simple communication errors like that, just not being able to contest, you know, that really has to wear down on you as a team and as a player individually. These guys have all got to feel it right now. They have to win out here to be able to secure this and move on to a round number 3. which would be Village, and that would still be very difficult to take. I mean, really, everything is clicking now for Renegades. They turned it around completely. They could easily reverse sweep this here.
Especially with that opening coming out of the side of Renegades, pushing them away, forcing them to reset, and this is the problem. Bot tank was the name of the game for Envision, but they were ready, man. Ube on the Junkrat, able to push them away. The hook was there from Louis too. New face guy on the Orisa, and things are looking great for Envision, or rather for Renegades. Apologies to potentially make this a 2-0.
Do you remember, I mean, the last time we saw Envision on this specific map, Shiny fell off the map right out of the gate. It's the same issue here where, you know, just control obviously favoring the Orisa Roadhog, and now they're getting in a duel again. Bud's taking some pressure, and Louis is going to win out with some assistance from Guru. Ube with the tire there, a massive one at that, collecting 2 kills for himself, and again, Renegade surging ahead. Dominant performance here. I mean, think about Envision going into this right now. Their morale must be so low at this stage.
And we'll see at the very least Jar make the swap over to the Junkrat himself. We'll see whether or not that will be what his team needs to really start turning things around, as it's already almost 50% given up on the point. Ultimate disadvantage overall. And on top of that, you really need to win this round to stay in the series, as Coalescence will be popped. However, Louis will look to answer with the whole hog, looking to push the Reinhardt away. iShiny though stays alive. The hook is gonna connect. Nice one coming out of Buds. However, the tire being ready means that they will find a kill onto Fire. Guru claims one onto iShiny, and once again, members advantage on the side of Renegades. However, the self-destruct is gonna push them away for now. And with 70% built up on the point, overall still looking better for Renegades. Buds is gonna try and come in with the whole hog, but a desperate attempt at that. And this is looking disastrous, especially that Louis will make the swap over to the Fair, interestingly enough.
I actually like this because, you know, that forces another swap from Envision. So they lose even more because they have to make that adjustment to try to deal with the Pharah. Yeah, they can probably deal with it now, but again, they need ults to try to sway this fight. And they will not have one from Buds at all. He's putting pressure onto Ube. We'll get him down to 1 HP, but Ube gets away and the tire comes out. Ube almost gets it with the concussive mine, but ultimately not the case. Still stays alive for now.
And Ube gets the decent as well as the kill onto Jaru, and as a result, things are looking really bad. Even Matt getting another one into iShiny. This could be it. This could be Renegades winning versus Envision, which looked a very one-sided series at the start. It is going to be indeed the turnaround, and with that final boop, Hidan will go down, but that's all they get, and Renegades with a dominant 2-map wins after that first loss on Hollywood.
Renegades stepping it up. I mean, exactly, you know, looking back at Hollywood, when we were talking about before the match how Renegades just really needed to use that time where, you know, we had a little intermission for them as they played the first match and looked, you know, honestly just not that good. Figured out everything that they needed to change, made those adjustments, and took down what was the top of the group, Envision, dropping a series.